Hey guys, welcome back. So this is going to be a part 3 of the motion graphics design video. It could expand into lots of different parts. I think this is a representation of how long sound design actually takes, how experimental it is. What you see in the first 2 parts, part 1 being 20 minutes, part 2 being 20 minutes, that's the actual amount of time that I spend on adding sounds for these. And I'm planning to have this motion graphics design video be just that, focusing on this particular motion design project and just getting into more and more detail, more and more experimentation. So this part 3 is just a continuation of part 1 and 2, and who knows, we might reach part 10, we might reach part 40, we might reach part 4 or 5. So it just depends a little bit on how much sound design material this video can actually give. And I might change music, I might turn music off completely just to give you guys an idea on what it is that we're actually building behind of the music, what sound effects are actually being created in the background. But bit by bit we're starting to build our sound effect bed here. Now I'm going to play it back just to refresh where we were. So, okay, I think we were missing something at the end here. We've got a flash, but it sounds like thunder in the background. It's not particularly something that stands out. Yeah, it's this camera flash effect. So I'm gonna look for is a sound which is a bit more glitchy. So that's a bit harsh, that sound, but the beginning of the sound could really work. So you basically see that I'm adding the sound, I'm turning the volume up and down with the minus and the equals key. You see the volume here going up and down. And it doesn't matter if it's a bit too hot or not. It just depends on what you're listening to and if you like it or not. That's the most important part. So from how you see me working, you'll just see me in my state of flow and just adding stuff, removing stuff, adding stuff, removing stuff, turning them up, turning them down. With the comma and dot key, I can shift the sound around to the left or the right just to look at the sync. Also, what you see me do a lot is using 4 and 5 to navigate what I'm looking at on the video. So also when I click on the video and then hold the mouse button, then you'll see the play ahead cursor move left and right. That's also a way for me to shift, but the easiest way for me is just to use my left hand and shift from earlier to later with a 4 and 5. I think what I'll try and focus on as well is to slowly incorporate what key commands I'm using and what key commands I've matched to these particular movements. So this is 4, this is 5, and on a future video I'll go into a lot more detail on what key commands you actually have and what they are, because it's a huge list with Nuendo. And here I just want to go over some practical, as if you're looking over the shoulder with me type of sound designing, while other videos can be a bit more focused on the technicals, on what's inside Nuendo and how we continue to work further with that. Also, what you'll see here at the moment with Shift, R, and T. R and T are the zoom in and zoom out shortcuts of Pro Tools, and with Shift, R, and T, the track width gets larger and smaller. So here you can see that it's kind of like zooming in and out just to get a better view of your audio clips there. Now what I did was I zoomed the tracks in even more, so I think I go up to U, so that you can see what's happening on a track quite clearly. I'll just combine sharing some shortcuts here with also showing you what the sound design process is. You'll be able to see in the chapters of these episodes a deconstruction of what I talk about and when and why. So continuing on the sound design, I think I found a nice glitch that accentuate this flash moment in the video. Just a little glitch that can give some texture over the shot. Now, keep in mind that the motion graphics designer of this video, unfortunately, I don't have a credit for this. It's a video that I found a very long time ago. Something to keep in mind is that the motion graphics artist also takes into account the music. So the whole video is synchronized to music. Now, adding this little effect, this little glitch here, it's in time with the music as well because of the motion graphics footage being in time with the music as well. So keep in mind that the sound effects that I'm adding actually on this edit, when an edit matches in terms of sound design and music and edit, then it's a lot more fun to add sound design on, because what you're actually doing is you're I wouldn't say remixing the music, but you're adding extra elements to the music that are matching with the visuals in order to really incorporate a sound effects bed underneath the music. So that's practically what I'm actually doing by just adding sounds to sections. I'm also adding sounds to the music. Now we can play around with the music here and there a little bit more. I might do that in a little bit, and I'm going to now see what we can add for this beautiful looking light animations. Let's have a look. Now I select the clips a lot and I solo them, just have a listen to what each individual sound is. And solo is Shift S, as you see here. Yeah, I think it could use something else. But what should we look for in our library? UI. Maybe that reversed. It's a little wood block sound. Yeah, that works pretty well. So I think that works. Just adding a little something for the introductions of these colorful lines here. Now let's see what continues afterwards. Okay. Like the sound. Now, also what I'm able to do is when I press this key, and it's either to the left of your Z key or it's to the left of your 1 key, it allows me to grab a sound clip, and then when I move it from left to right, then you'll be able to see that the playhead is kind of magnetically stuck to the beginning of the clip. If I click it again, then my playhead doesn't follow the beginning of the clip. So that's one key command that I use a lot in order to synchronize something happening in the video and a sound effects block moving around. So what I want to do is this sound that I added now, because I've got the playhead magnetically at the beginning of the audio clip, I can now synchronize it to the moment that the little ball lands lands in the outside of this circle here. So yeah, let's see how that sounds. Yeah, it could work. It's kind of almost clashing with the music a little bit, but it does match. Now let's do a trailer hit just underneath it. Yeah, that's really exaggerated, but when we turn down the volume, it will just add a subtle layer to the mix. So I really am a fan of using these trailer hits on certain moments like this. Let's listen to what this sounds like. Now, it's audible that the impact of this hit isn't in key with the music. So I'm going to use a different one. Yeah. So maybe something a little bit more low end oriented. And I'm going to use it for this Anthem title that drops. Now there's a little click at the end of the music I don't like. Okay, it just needed a little fade out. That's it. So we've added some low end to the Anthem title. That works, but I think we could still add something sound designy, something fresh to this. Let's do Animate. Now that could work on this little ball turning. Anime sounds are really useful to add in the mix. So flexible, so much to play with. So now something for the turning of this little ball inside it. This anime sound gives it just a little twirl feeling, a little, yeah, just that, that little white ball in the middle twisting. The anime sound effect really helps creating that twist feeling. Now let's see if we can add some texture to this. So that could work very well. Now, this might really be a weird choice, having a anime voice. Within the mix and as a sound effect, you kind of forget that it's an anime voice. And because what you're looking at and because what you're listening to are grabbing your attention from the get-go constantly, adding a little anime voice like this, even though the sound effects is labeled as a voice, what you are seeing and what you are hearing are going to register completely different to your brain. Now, because of this difference, you won't hear the anime voice as, oh, this is an anime girl, but you'll hear it within the context of what's moving in the image, and it will sound a little bit, to me, like two marbles hitting each other, and you get this little... So for the first time that you listen to this, we're listening to this over and over and over again, because we're adding layers, we're leveling them volume-wise, we're shifting them time-wise, and what we're actually doing is continuously trying to see what the audio is going to sound like, as if you would be listening to it for the first time. And what I mean with listening to it for the first time is you have to imagine that most people will listen to this for one time and that's it. They won't play certain sections back. They won't be going, oh wow, the sound on that particular section is so well done, I'm going to play it over and over and over again. It's just going to be registered as one cohesive experience. So that is kind of also how you have to listen to this when you're playing it back over and over again, is forgetting what you've added and then pressing play again and listening, oh yeah, this is what we've made, this is what we're going to add, and this is how you are particularly able to get into a flow of yourself with working on your project. And that is also a way to completely sidetrack and get lost into just adding layers and layers and layers without thinking, oh, maybe it's been enough. So I think we can still add some more towards the beginning. I'm just going to play that back just to see what section. So I think when the white ball moves from zigzags here, we don't particularly have something for that zigzag. So I think we can use some of the anime sounds as well. That sounds like a good one. Now, okay, so I'm inspired by the laser. Now something very short. We can play around with the pitch of the laser sound as well. Maybe have one higher in pitch and one lower. Okay. This laser sound is so dense that you don't really hear the pitch difference. Let's see. And then, because it doesn't really flow with the ball. They're two standstill. I'm going to remove them. Let's see if we can find another sound. That could potentially work. Some ricocheting bullet type of sounds. We'll split it in two. So we have the ricocheting bullet type sounds happening once for when it goes to the left and happening once for when it goes back to the right. I feel that we need one more sound for that moment that it goes from left to right. Maybe just that there. Okay, I think that works. Just using a couple of later sounds in that section. Now, let's see if we can add one more before I quit this part 4. That could be for the section, the transition here. Because I think the transition from the little square to the little temple, I think we can add something in there that can just fill it up a little bit more. I'm not sure what. Maybe some laugh design that's been designed. Let's see what. It actually sounds very annoying when you hear it by itself. Very annoying, but it could be. Once again, it's all about little happy accidents. No, it sounds too clear as a laugh. Let's reverse it. No. All right, let's play around with the pitch. A reset and just start low in pitch. And let's add another pitch shift to that where we go up. And let's speed it up to something really quick. And maybe pitch it up a little bit more. Yeah, that's a good way, I think, of hiding that giggle, because that laughing was a bit too weird and dry. But now we just took a sound of something that completely doesn't sound nice, and we just played around with the pitch, the tempo, and the pitch curve, and you've got something that could potentially work over this section. So that goes to show how modulating a sound can give you a different outcome, even if the sound wasn't that good to begin with. So I'm going to end this video here, and in part 4 I'm going to work a little bit more with the music, work with external plugins, with effects. And if you've made it this far, thank you very much. Please consider liking and subscribing, and feel free to ask me anything in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer any questions or any requests as well. Thanks, and bye.